Welcome in our political panelist. Rick Gates joins us, former Trump campaign aide. Also here, Grace Riley, an analyst for Restoration of America. Welcome to you both. All right, Rick, finally, we are seeing a retirement here from Jerry Nadler. What do you make of the decision?
Yeah, look, I think it's a good decision. I think it's a decision that Democrats have internally come to face, whether they'll publicly admit it or not. But Jerry Nadler certainly wanted to step forward and says it's time to go. It's time to usher in that next generation. I think this is one of the big pieces with so much focus on Joe Biden and his performance and his age and the mental issues that he had, that this is something that is certainly on the forefront of most Americans' minds. So better to go ahead and get it now. And look, he's lost his committee chairmanship, from the Judiciary Committee. So he really doesn't have a lot more to do. So good timing. I think what's interesting is what he said is that other Democrats should go without naming names. It'll be interesting to see if we see more Democrats resign as well.
Yeah, Grace, obviously the Democrats are trying to build back their image, maybe their messaging. They're polling very low. And then you have Jerry Nadler, who's been in office for quite some time, representing a portion of New York. And he cites generational change that is needed. Do you see this as the Democrat Party now embracing ideas like Zoran Mamdani and the mayoral race in New York City and other younger, more left-leaning ideas or ideologies for the party moving forward?
I would say that. That's a great point. And look, he could have come to the generational change conclusion before he passed 3 decades in Congress. Jerry Nadler is the poster child for congressional term limits, and it would be great if politicians in Congress on both sides of the aisle had the discipline and wisdom that George Washington did when he rejected a 3rd term as president and set the stage for presidential term limits. But as you're pointing out, there may be something to be said and something more going on here, like a broader rebranding to bring more young people into the picture, whether it's Mamdani or in Connecticut, there's a 77-year-old Democrat congressman named John Larson who's being challenged by a few younger Democrats. So they seem to be making this move to try to usher in young people. And I think another thing that we should point out is that this is somewhat of a covert admission that there was, in fact, a problem with Biden's health decline, and that maybe, just maybe, that wasn't a great thing for the American people as a whole, and certainly not for their brand or messaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Some younger voices are definitely welcomed, and we'll be watching for it. One of those includes Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She apparently is not so pleased with VP Vance's comments about herself. She sent out some fundraising emails, apparently describing him as full of S-word. Vance's appearance in Wisconsin, though, was where he recently called out the New York Congresswoman by name. Watch this.
We were having lunch yesterday, and the president said, JD, I don't know how I did it. I have actually got the Democrats to come out in defense of crime. And it is crazy. If Donald Trump came out tomorrow and said he really likes puppies, you would have AOC come out and say puppies are terrible.
Rick, he mentions one person individually, but could you expand this to the broader Democratic Party? I mean, you think about what he's trying to do with crime and the border. It's faced with a lot of pushback.
Oh, no question. It's almost take any issue, and the Democrats just don't want to see Donald Trump succeed. I mean, you look at the success that he's had in Washington, D.C., where now even the Democratic mayor who was initially against him has favorably said, wow, this is actually really helping. So I hope that model, is expanded across the country. But Democrats are going to continue to do anything and everything to prevent Donald Trump from taking credit, even if it's good policy. And this is where the Democrats are so short-sighted in terms of how can they repair their party. Well, first of all, get on board with issues that are important to the American people. And that's exactly what the president's doing. That's what JD is going to go out and he's going to articulate. And I think you're going to continue to see this wave of just issue after issue being found in favor of the American people. And I don't think the Democrats are going to be able to find a way to really overturn that before the midterms. They haven't yet, and they don't have any signs yet of showing any type of issue where they are in favor with the American people right now.
Yeah, interesting point. Grace, an RNC spokesperson, reacting to the fundraising email, reportedly saying it's no wonder that AOC has resorted to grifting off cheap insults. Democrats' favorability is at rock bottom because they've abandoned working Americans in favor of defending crime and fighting for illegal aliens, end quote. Grace, your response to that?
Well, that's a great point, too, that it's definitely an indication of their branding and policy crisis that they've spent the past month debating whether crime is a serious problem in our country. And of course, the American people would say that it is. So it's completely out of touch with the American people. And they're out of touch in that way and many others, as was just mentioned. But AOC is one of the reps that's accomplished next to nothing in Congress, in her ridiculously liberal district, too. I mean, of the policy that she's proposed, one of the most common is the Green New Deal. Thank God she wasn't able to push that forward. But of course, now, with those failures being in Congress and such bad ideas that she's promoting, she has no choice but to just criticize anything Trump and try to use that for fundraising, which won't be successful long term.
All right. That is Grace Riley joining us this morning alongside Rick Gates with their political analysis. Thank you both. Appreciate it.